I'm Luke. I lost 60 pounds while in university and while I worked corporate. This is going to be exactly everything I would do if I had to start over again. I made tons and tons of mistakes. I'm going to be making a lot more content. This is going to be more of a basic video. If you're still curious about why you should listen to me, I lost 60 pounds. I built visible abs as well, and I had none for a very long time. I worked full-time corporate while I got to my leanest. I've been a university student for the past 4 years, and I'm going to keep being a university student for just like a little bit. I really want to graduate. I got significantly stronger. I greatly reduced my binge eating, which was a huge problem that absolutely ruined like a ton of relationships in my life. I built confidence around food. I learned how to stay lean, and I'm still learning. Like, I just got a bodybuilding coach so I can become a better coach myself. And to make sure that my clients know that they're in the best hands, I did get a NASM certified personal trainer certification. And the reason why I did this is even though NASM PT certification is only about training, injury, and more things related to exercise and not nutrition. I just want to show my dedication to fitness, you know? Yeah, my content is going to be for people who are very busy, but they still want abs. People who say, like, I eat good all day, and then they binge at night, even if you binge on healthy food. People who are good at dieting alone, but their friends and family fall, like, kind of lead to them falling off. Just work, school, stress, and snacks. Yeah, just actually having a plan you could follow and having trust in a mentor. Now, this is going to be a very basic video. This is not necessarily something more advanced. This is going to be a very basic video on what I would do if I had to re-lose the 60 pounds. Before we start, body fat is driven by an energy balance, and like, I know you know this, but you can build muscle while losing fat, and muscle is a response to stimuli. That stimuli comes from strength progression and recovery. Building muscle is not from food. It comes from strength progression and recovery. Muscle growth is a response to stimuli, and I'll get more into that. Don't diet yet, but for a week, just track your weight and track your food every single day. Number one, this is going to just build the habit of actually tracking and knowing what you're going to be eating. Number two, and you're already way further ahead than everybody crash diet super early on. And crash dieting is a skill, but track your weight, track your food, and now you have an accurate estimate of your total daily energy expenditure. This is going to be the calories on average that you burn every single day, just living your life and doing what you do normally. For example, for me, I have a standing desk job, lift in the mornings, 5'9", 145. So for me, this is around 2,500 to 3,000 calories expended every single day. And TDE is also going to be a range. Find what it is for you versus using an actual calculator, because people can have like different metabolisms, the food you eat, the hormones you have, a bunch of different factors can play a role. I also want you to track your waist size, because waist measurements are going to be the most accurate measurement or piece of data that let you know if you're losing fat versus muscle, because weight can go down based on water weight changes, all this stuff, your scale could break, etc. But if you track your waist size using one of those measuring tapes every single day or every week, and you do it consistently in like the same spot above the belly button over and over and over again, and you see that it's decreasing, you must be losing fat. It's not like the bones are going away, right? And then I want you to remove importance. If the focus is on building confidence with the habits and transforming who you are spiritually, then you're automatically going to get lean. But if the focus is getting leaner, it's very difficult to, one, actually get lean when the focus is on an external outcome, and then two, it's going to be really difficult to stay there because you never really had any confidence to begin with. Also, throughout this whole process, just think about collecting data and then adjusting. Collect data, then adjust. Collect data, then adjust. This also comes with learning more online. Collect data, then adjust. Even though consistency is really important and just sticking to a basic plan will get you incredible results, collect data, then adjust. These are the non-negotiables that if you did nothing, like once you get to your goal weight, these are the non-negotiables. If you did nothing else, just do these. It's very simple. It's what I do to stay at my current body weight and my current body fat percentage. 10K steps average, so 70K per week. I think having a weekly average is a better number. There's some days where I can't get 10K, I'm just running around. And some days where I have a lot more time, I can get like 15, 20K, right? I don't think you should argue with me about steps. Steps are going to greatly increase the amount of energy you expend over an entire year. And long-term changes are how you stay lean, right? I will do incline treadmill before work or 2 outside walks, like 1 in the morning or 2 at night, you know? And lifting as well, like most people are gonna mess up the diet. You see people in the gym who are very strong, but they're big, right? Especially in America. So we're lifting to burn fat, not muscle. I messed up my words on that. And 3 to 6 days a week over an entire year, your body's gonna change dramatically. Don't overcomplicate it. 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of goal body weight. I know you know this, but higher end if eating less calories, and sleep is going to help a ton, but I don't think you should rely on a good night's sleep to be confident that you can stick to your calories. I recommend not going out more than 2 nights in a row. That was a rule that I had that helped me get a little bit better sleep. But you need to learn how to diet regardless of sleep, regardless of life, regardless of being busy. And then water tremendously helps. Diet soda, sparkling water. Some type of caffeine can blunt appetite if you have it before you go to bed, like a long time before bed. Ideally, you're gonna want minimally processed foods. Number one, because the FDA allowed a margin of error on calorie labels, and it's probably a lot easier to manipulate that with processed foods. Also, you're gonna get a better nutrient intake overall if you eat a minimally processed diet, which is gonna lead to better health in a caloric deficit and more satiety for most people. So you're gonna feel fuller, you're gonna feel better on fewer calories. For training, progressive overload just means in earning weight increases, earning rep increases, earning strength increases. Because you could just increase the weight, but if your technique is failing, if you're not using your chest on your bench press, then that's not really progressive overload, that's just you cheating, right? Strength needs to increase. In my opinion, powerlifters are generally more muscular and better looking than the general population because they focus on strength increases. Almost every natural bodybuilder is quite strong for the exercises that they include in their program. They might not be the strongest on bench, but let's say they do something like a chest fly. Primarily, they're going to be pretty strong on that. You're just going to want to keep exercises that increase your aesthetic appeal, and you want to put them at the start of your workout so you have more intention with them. So the workout, if you put the exercises that you want to improve on at the end of the workout, I doubt that you're actually going to, train them as intensely as possible. Like train the muscle groups that you want to grow most with more intention, more intensity, more frequency. For example, for me, it's my shoulders and my abs. So at the start of my workouts, I'm going to put shoulders at the start, so like overhead press. And then on my ab days, I'm going to put, cable crunch, cable machine, crunch machine, right? And volume means like the amount of work you do per week. Intensity means proximity to 1 rep max. This means most. Intensity means most because it's going to be the best way to improve mechanical tension, which is just a fancy term. Mechanical tension is tough, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to overcomplicate that. Intensity is a skill that can be learned. You want to be doing this in between the 4 to 14 rep range using the muscle group that you want to target for that exercise. Make sure that that muscle is slowing down first, fatiguing first, right? If you're doing a bicep curl, you want your bicep to like fatigue first before any other muscle, right? Before your shoulders. Going to failure, you hear this online, it just means that the bar speed slows down dramatically towards the last few reps, and then you can't do another with moderately proper form. 2 sets per exercise per workout is fine. There are studies that you get significantly less with each set in a single workout. A max 14 to 10 exercises in a workout, I messed that up. So this would be like 8 to 20 total sets in every workout. And most people undertrain in my opinion, and a lot of natural bodybuilders online, and myself included, have made the most progress when we just train like a workhorse. We just do a lot of volume because volume is going to teach you technique, how to train intensely, and it just gets you more touches on the bar, so you learn more, right? And cardio, like 10K steps a day minimum will get you so far. I'm not going to argue with you on that. While diet matters the most, cardio is going to get you so far over an entire year. Split does not matter. What split means, push-pull legs, upper, lower, rest, arms, back. If you like it and it fits your work and school schedule, and you're able to do it consistently over a month, over a year, etc., you're going to be okay. Nothing else matters without accepting that fat loss is about energy balance, and energy is in the form of calories. Protein matters, but nothing matters if you eat more energy than you expend. 1 gram per pound of body weight, generally, like just something you should always follow. Meal timing is incredibly underrated. I want you to experiment with the times you eat and consistency sticking to these times to train a hunger response. I cannot give a single answer for, oh, you should eat at these times, this, more so train yourself. But at my first job, I'd wake up at my first job, they had a bunch of snacks in the kitchen. And these were my favorite snacks. And we also had a DoorDash credit. So to stop myself from just eating everything I could on a work day, because I'd wake up at 4, I would fast for the first 6 hours of the day till 10. And then I'd wait 3 hours till 1. I'd have my lunch at 1. And then I'd wait 3 hours till 4. That would give me just enough energy to get through till 5:30. I'd get home at 7, I'd have my dinner, and then I'd go to bed. Grocery shopping as well. You can experiment with buying in bulk versus buying each day's worth of food at once. I know buying in bulk for me at times can make me more inclined to eat and like binge eat, even if it's healthy food. So what I used to do is I used to just buy what I would eat on the day in the mornings. What matters most, I've realized, is becoming like a fit, lean minded individual. So no matter what life throws at you, no matter if what you wanted to eat isn't at the grocery store, if you can't get to the grocery store, you're gonna win regardless because you now identify with a fit person. I hope that makes sense. I hope this video is resonating with you. So I'm very strongly on this. Like only 3% of men are below 15% body fat, which is like barely visible abs on a man. Women's body fat numbers are different. So for like men, 50% body fat would be barely visible abs. And then there are more millionaires in America than people with a six pack. Balance is for after you learn how to diet. Balance is for like after you've proven that you can get to a body weight and then stay at that body weight. Restaurants are going to add in extra oil, sauces, ingredients. And even if you go to a place in the standard operating procedures, they want to keep everything consistent, like Panda Express, Panera Bread, these healthier options. It's just not as consistent as cooking yourself. I have a very strong opinion on you should not eat out on a diet. If you are going to eat out with others, because I know life exists, it's your call, but I strongly think your goal is going to be more important because friends are always going to be there. And the times when I've sacrificed my fitness for friends, I think my family's awake. Hold on. Okay. I gotta be quiet. I'm gonna get my ass beat. Hunger as well. I'm not gonna go in depth on this, but understand that there's emotional hunger and then physical hunger. And emotional hunger isn't just as easily explainable as, oh, I had a bad day at work, etc. Emotional hunger is so much more in depth than just stress eating, boredom eating. Consistency is a skill. It's a skill. People could talk about staying consistent, but it's a skill that's learned over repetition of identity, habits, sticking to your predetermined meal plan, and then changing the narrative when you mess up. We always want to be in the story that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Even if we mess up, it's way easier to fall off if you identify in the failure, right? Binge eating, I used to struggle a lot with overeating for a very long time. It absolutely ruined my sports life, a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships, just because I really wanted to eat a lot of food. Whenever I'd go to parties, there'd be like a cookie tray next to the pizza tray, next to the assorted Italian snacks. I would just wait till the party ended and then I would all take it home. And if I didn't take it home, it's because I ate all of it prior. Overeating is almost always a dopamine cue reward response. Nobody ever wants to binge. Most of my followers binge unhealthy foods during times of stress, inconsistency, or insecurity. And the ways that I prevented my overeating are I studied the days that led to binging. And so it's going to be different for you. But over time, you're going to recognize some patterns that happen. Binging can happen regardless of if you follow the pattern, if you don't follow the pattern. But I typically binged on days where I had a large breakfast. I had multiple final projects or final homework assignments due late at night. Nights where I was getting rejected or like I had a bad date. Days where I wanted to be in a diet, but I kept eating. Like if it's a week where I wanted to be in a calorie deficit, but I kept missing the mark and being at maintenance. Towards the end of the week, you burnt out. You kind of say like, F it. Even if you were making progress, if you felt like you weren't making progress for days and days and days, weeks and weeks and weeks, that's when I would binge, right? Frequency is your self-concept, mental image, belief systems, and these are going to be shaped by your subconscious, which become your consciousness, which shape your external reality. By letting go of the desire to be fit, by like understanding that if I just maintain my body weight, I'm going to be in a way better position, you're in resonance with the frequency of a lean individual. Let go of the desire to be fit if you are fat. Focus on becoming a person, right? I know people don't agree with this. Maturing in my fitness was realizing that identity and self-concept and mental image makes a large difference. I started fitness content when I was 15 pounds heavier than I am right now. I believed I was a leaner person than I was. Like I wasn't even that lean, right? But in believing I was lean and making this fitness content and posting like I was that individual, I got there, right? I got to my leanest, strongest self. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. I now have a bodybuilding coach myself. So I'm going to be learning new things. I'm going to be doing different things. But before my coach, these were the systems I made for myself that led to a 60-pound fat loss. So my meals were typically around 3 meals that would happen in the afternoon after I got steps. And they became larger in calories as the day passed. It might have been like 400, 500, 700 or something, right? I try to space these around 3 to 5 hours apart by either doing work, getting steps, and having events, etc. It would be a lot of salads with a lot of meat. I liked broth, egg whites, and small amounts of processed protein snacks. I've tried a lot of different workout training splits. I really like focusing on my abs, my delts, my back. And I did this for multiple variations. Split doesn't necessarily matter. It's more what you can do consistently and what you can do to hit every muscle group you want to target. But push-pull legs, upper lower 5 days a week is relatively what I did. Cardio, if I skip my 10 to 15K steps, my life just straight up falls apart. The best habit I've had is having morning fasted incline treadmill, an hour every day. So zone 2, which means you can like have a conversation during the whole walk. And zone 2 means heart rate, right? If I skip my cardio, if I don't do my cardio specifically in the morning as well, my whole life falls apart and I just don't do it. I've tried this for 2 years where I do my cardio in the morning. Supplements, almost every supplement won't actually make a difference. Even creatine. Creatine can speed up rate of muscle growth, etc. I just don't really like it. But caffeine can blunt your appetite, and melatonin or magnesium glycinate can improve the speed at which you fall asleep. And if it's easier to fall asleep, it's harder to, get worse sleep, and it's harder to overeat at night. So I do one-on-one West Coast physique coaching, right? I know you know my Instagram. I'm gonna keep creating more content. But my goal is to actually, like I'm not gonna say not make an impact, but make content that I resonate with instead of trying to make content I don't. Right? I really hope this video helped. I know it was a basic video, but yeah, this is how I lost 60 pounds and how I would redo it.